Hi everybody, thanks so much for coming to help us kick off Rideshare Week. My name is Alyssa Thomas and I'm the Sustainable Transportation Program Coordinator for Cal State Long Beach. Rideshare Week is a nationwide effort to increase awareness about using sustainable transportation. And we're very happy to have here with us today Chris Balish as our keynote speaker, the best-selling author of the book How to Live Well Without Owning a Car, Save Money, Breathe Easier, and Get More Mileage Out of Life. He's an expert in alternative transportation, car-free commuting, active lifestyles, and reducing car use. Chris has been featured on more than 800 radio and TV stations and in more than 140 magazines and newspapers, including our own Union Weekly and Inside CSULB. Please join me in welcoming Chris Balish.
All right, thank you so much, Alyssa. Thanks to everybody for coming today. I really appreciate that warm welcome. When Alyssa asked me to come down and speak, I was really excited because I love Long Beach. I've been on the campus before. It's an awful lot of fun. And we're going to talk about some of the really cool forward-thinking things that CSU Long Beach is doing and has done to make it easier to not have to rely on our cars for everything. So today I'm going to talk about alternative transportation, clean air, smart commuting, and active, healthy lifestyles. And by the way, I don't just talk about alternative transportation, I truly walk the talk. I lived in Los Angeles now for 8 years, and I have never owned a car in the entire time I've been here. I live in Santa Monica, but I've also lived in Beverlywood, closer to like Beverly Hills area when I first moved here. And I've always had a very, let's just say a learning curve when I first got here, learning LA without a car. But, and that's 8 years in Southern California. Prior to that, I lived in the Midwest. But in Southern California, it's so easy to ride your bike because the weather is always nice, right? You never get caught in the rain at a bus stop. But the point is, I give these lectures around the country, and people someone will always raise their hand, like in the Northeast or the Midwest, where it's cold and it gets rainy and snow, and they say, yeah, sure, Chris, you can ride your bike everywhere and walk everywhere because you live in sunny Southern California, right? And I say, not so fast. Before I was car-free in LA, I lived in St. Louis, Missouri, where I rode my bike to work every single day in the Midwest, hot, sticky, humid summers, freezing cold winters, snow, ice, rain. The picture on the left, that's me riding my bike to work in the snow. So it can be done even there. And I was just talking with somebody up here a minute ago about the penetration of bicycle commuters and bicycles as a mode of transportation in countries like the Netherlands, places like that in Northern Europe, where the weather is just awful, but it seems like everybody rides their bike. And by the way, I was a TV news anchor when I was in St. Louis, so I had to show up to work looking good, smelling good, ready to go on the air. My hair had to look good, even though I wore a bicycle helmet all morning. And the point is, one of the big objections I get to bicycle commuting is, I don't want to smell at work, I don't want to be all sweaty when I get there. You will figure out a way, your own personal system for hygiene and grooming. I just bring antibacterial wipes. This is a piece Discovery Channel did on me. And I just use antibacterial wipes, it's not that big of a deal. I have a couple videos on YouTube you can check out about hygiene. So I enjoyed not owning a car and riding my bike to work so much that I decided to write a book about it. The book is not just for people who want to get rid of their car altogether and save a ton of money. The book is also for anybody who wants to just ride in the car less, spend less time in the car, and maybe get out and have a little bit more of an active lifestyle. And since I got rid of my car, I've saved close to $100,000 in car payments, insurance, parking, gas, maintenance, repairs, and so on. And I truly believe that almost anyone can dramatically reduce their car use or even get to the point where they get rid of their car regardless of your age or your fitness level. And I've made it my mission to help people drive less and live more. So I really have two very different kind of careers here going simultaneously. On the one hand, I'm a bicycle commuting, alternative transportation, and mass transit advocate. And then my day job is broadcast journalist and TV host. as you can imagine, sometimes these two careers don't mesh together very well. For example, I think I was the only TV host to show up at the Transformers red carpet movie premiere on an LA Metro bus. So all the other TV hosts from Entertainment Tonight and Access Hollywood, they're showing up in their Beamers and Mercedes and whatever, and I got off the LA Metro 720. But on occasion, my green lifestyle actually can be very helpful in Hollywood. When I interviewed Titanic and Avatar director James Cameron, he's apparently a very big environmentalist. We started talking about my book randomly in the interview, and at the end of the interview, James Cameron said, "Hey Chris, can I get a photo with you?" James Cameron asked me for a photo. I'm like, what? Yeah, of course. So in case you're wondering, let me show you how I got here today. Jennifer? I get all over Los Angeles by walking, cycling, carpooling, ride sharing, and most of all, combining my bicycle with the bus. And Jennifer, I don't want you to run off yet. Stay up here for a minute. Can you hop up here for a second? Let's talk a little bit about that. I'm going to put up a video of our trip yesterday from Santa Monica to Long Beach. And the reason that we came yesterday is because we didn't know the route. It would have been our first time. I didn't want to be late for the presentation. We could have done it this morning, but we decided to do it yesterday and then come over here. And I did ride my bike from the hotel to here today. So Jennifer, what if you would just describe our route for the people?
So we took our bikes to the downtown Santa Monica Big Blue bus station, and we hopped on the Rapid 3 all the way down past LAX. And then we jumped on the Green Line Metro, got off and switched to the Blue Line and took it all the way to Anaheim Station.
Now, did I look like a super tool riding with my carry-on in the back?
No.
Okay, you know, you get a couple looks, but we were actually riding the Big Blue very close to LAX, so everybody had rollies and carry-ons, and I just carried it in the back of my bus, or in the back of my bike. Okay, you moved from New York in 2009, where you did not own a car, to LA. What is the first thing people told you about moving to LA?
You have to buy a car in LA.
So what did you do?
I leased a Jetta, 2009, little white Jetta.
And how much did that cost you?
It was $2,500 down and $260 a month after that.
Okay, well that's like the advertised price. What did you ever sit down and calculate over time, like at the end of the year, the exact monthly cost of that car?
Yeah, like factoring in gas, parking tickets, and all that. It was about $650 a month.
$650 a month. So over the 3-year lease, we're talking about almost $25 grand that you spent on that car.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And what would you say is the most you ever spent in 1 year on parking tickets?
About $800.
I'll tell you, in Los Angeles County, they are ruthless with their parking tickets. Okay, so, and then you spent a lot of money on the car, but you needed it, you were fresh, you were new to LA, you were figuring it out, I get it. 2 years ago, you decided to get rid of your car. Why?
Yeah, I just learned that I can easily take the bus from my apartment to my office, and it dropped me off literally right in front of my building. So I started doing that, and I liked it so much that I decided to just hand in my car after the lease was up, just gave him the keys.
Yeah, and your attitude, I believe, was, you know, I'm going to try it for a while. If I decide it's not for me, I can always get another car. And that was 2 years ago, and you haven't.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. How much money have you saved in that 2 years?
At least $15,000, probably more.
$15,000. Did you just put that money in the bank, or did you do anything fun with it?
I did something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time that I would have never been able to do had I had a car, and I backpacked around Europe for 3 months.
Fantastic, wow. Yeah, I mean, if you have a car sitting at home and you probably have to pay someplace to park it, maybe, or?
Oh yeah, I would have had to put it in a garage for like at least $200 a month. I would have had to keep making the payments, and yeah.
Any advice for college students out there who might be tempted as soon as they graduate and get their first job to go into debt and buy a car?
Just try being car free. I mean, if you don't like it, you can always go back. Even if you have a car, you can still try the bus and see how you like it. It's so easy.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Jennifer for me, my travel companion yesterday. And by the way, I want to make it clear that I am not anti-car at all. Even though, you know, I do speak a lot about this topic. Through my job as a TV host and a broadcast journalist, I've driven a lot of really awesome cars, and I think automobiles are cool. They're neat tools, they're shiny, they're fun, you can put your friends in the back seat, drive them fast, I get it. But I do think it's more of a tool that you need at certain times in your life, and you don't maybe need it all the time. In fact, I've had some of the best times of my life in cars. That's a posed shot. But when I need a car, I rent a car. I just decided not to own one. And I would just rather walk or ride a bike. And the result is I'm more physically active, I burn more calories, I get more exercise daily as part of my daily commute, I'm healthier, I visit doctors less, and I get to explore my city and see the landscape the way you won't get to see it if you're just driving through. Plus, I'm saving money and helping the environment. Okay, and also, big in LA and Southern California, I always have a front row parking spot, which is huge. Right now, I do want to introduce another special guest. Please welcome to the stage CSU Long Beach professor Gwen Schaefer. Come on up, Gwen.
I am on faculty in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communications, and I teach media law and policy and a few different reporting classes, and I've been on faculty since January of 2012.
Okay, so you did not own a car until a few years ago, is this correct?
Correct. So my whole adult life, I lived in the Northeast. So I lived in Washington, D.C. for 5 years after college, and then Philadelphia for 13 years. And I never owned a car. So I rode my bike or took mass transit or walked everywhere. Actually walked a lot of places.
It's a little trickier here, and unfortunately a lot of LA, as we've talked about, is really built around the car. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to change. But when you ride the bus to work, let's say, for example, you said you like it because it's productive time for you. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so often, many semesters, I will teach 3 classes in a single day. And you're you're like on all day. And it's really relaxing to get onto the bus at the end of the afternoon and just be able to chill out, check my email, return messages from folks that I haven't gotten to all day. If I have energy, I'll grade papers on the bus. And also, in this photo, that's my son, he's 3, and he goes to Isabel Patterson, which is on campus. And there are days when we take the bus together. And I love that we can have that quality time together in the afternoon. If I drive, he's buckled into the back seat in a car seat. We can't interact. And it's just a lot more fun to be sitting together and talking at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, I see them every day on the bus, parents with their kids. The kids are running around up and down the aisles and things, and they can be...
I try not to do that, Mom.
Okay, and is it true you get paid to ride the bus to work?
Yes, so I did not know this till my second semester at Long Beach State, but for faculty, and I don't know for staff, somebody will have to confirm this, but for faculty we can keep a rideshare record, and for every day that we do not drive to campus, we get $1 in credit, and you can use that at different on-campus restaurants. Jack's Bicycles actually offers gift cards. I think some other ASI-operated stores on campus, you can use the money, so it's a really great benefit.
Very nice benefit. And one more thing, what advice would you give for anybody out there who maybe thinks, yeah, you know what, there is a bus stop right near me, it would drop me off right at school, but I just have never done it. What advice would you have for them?
Well, one of the things that was really interesting about moving to Southern California after never living in a city where there was a car culture like there is here, is a lot of people associate their cars with freedom. And that's such a crazy thing to me because I actually find having to own a car now to be the exact opposite of freedom. Although I can't just, one of the days I bike or take the bus to campus, I can't stop at the supermarket necessarily and pick up a few items, but the benefits, the trade-offs, I think greatly outweigh that sort of freedom of having a car. And I actually consume a lot less in general, since you've been talking about the financial benefits. Because I don't have a car, I'm not going to TJ Maxx after work. I'm doing all the things that we do just because it's convenient. I don't have that convenience factor. And even when I go to the supermarket, I buy what I need because it's a lot harder. I don't belong to Costco. Okay, that's the other thing that blew my mind. Before I moved here, I didn't know a single person who belonged to Costco, and everybody in Southern California seems to belong because we have cars. But I don't buy in bulk. I buy what I need. And I find that liberating.
Absolutely. And the most important question, for your students that are here today, do they get extra credit for riding the bus to school?
I had not prearranged that, but if there are any students here, let me know and we can work something out.
Gwen, thank you so much. Please thank Gwen. Oh, one more thing.
I just want to get one more thing. In this photo, that's my son and I taking the Aqualink, which is a very unique form of public transit in Long Beach, if you've never taken it. It's actually the water ferry. It only runs May through October, but you've like 3 more weeks to check it out if you want to try it. You can take an ocean road to your destination.
Yeah, either be out on the water on a beautiful day or stuck in traffic. Your pick. Gwen, thank you so much. Professor Schaefer, everybody. Thank you so much. And here's an important point. Active lifestyles, biking for daily transportation, pedestrian and bike paths, mass transit, all these forms of alternative transportation and healthy lifestyles that we've been talking about today, they don't just help the people doing it. So it's not just me and Jennifer and Gwen and Wayne, who you'll hear from in a minute, that benefit from this. Society as a whole benefits when people do this. And let me share a quick story to illustrate why that is. I was recently the guest on a live radio call-in show. And a gentleman called in, this is live on the radio, a gentleman called in who was obviously very angry with me. I think he must have been sitting in traffic and bumper to bumper and he was pissed off. But he was so angry with me, here's what he said. He said, quote, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Living in America without a car is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. What a silly idea for a book. Stop spreading such foolishness. You're not helping anyone." Now remember, this is live radio. The host looked at me and he was like, uh-oh. Not helping anyone, I thought. Oh, really? So I calmly replied, quote, "Well, sir, it's obvious you're not going to walk to the store, bicycle to work on a bike path, ride the bus to a ball game, or try to use your car less. And that's okay. You don't have to. Active lifestyles are not for everyone. But I would like to remind you, sir, that every time someone hops on a bicycle and sets out on a bike path, or commutes to work on public transportation, or parks their car and walks to the store, or a family organizes a bike pool or a carpool, all of these things directly benefit car owners. And here's why. By getting cars off the road. Fewer drivers means reduced traffic on roadways. It speeds commute times for motorists who do drive. It lowers parking demand for parking spots at work and at home, in parking garages. It makes tax dollars go further. There's decreased crash risk. It reduces wear and tear on roadways, requires less taxpayer money for repairs and resurfacing. It lowers pollution, smog, and greenhouse gas emissions. And it even helps improve the overall health of the population and lowers healthcare costs. Therefore, the strongest supporters of bicycle commuting, bike racks, bike paths, walking trails, pedestrian rights, mass transit, crosswalks, buses, and other forms of mass transportation should be car owners. And then I said, so sir, what I think you should do is go out and buy 50 copies of my book and give one to everybody you know. And of course, at that point, he had already hung up. And he was still very angry at me, I'm sure. But it really does make the life and our communities better places for everybody concerned when we do this. The point of the story is mass transportation and all these things help everyone, even the people who never do it. We have one more special guest today. Please welcome to the stage Wayne King. Wayne, come on up. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Come on right over here to my left. For people who don't know you, Wayne, tell everybody what you do here and how long you've been doing it.
I've been here 19 years. I work in the print shop. We do all the cutting, business cards for the university, brochures, and posters. So I've been 19 years here. Yeah.
Ever had any typos in your work in 19 years?
Depend what department it's for.
We won't talk about that. Okay, how do you get to work every day? Walk me through it.
Ride the bus. I live about 3 blocks from the bus station. So I catch the bus, and I catch 2 buses to work, which I have a ride free through the program.
Okay, so you walk out your door, you go to one bus, then there's a stop, and then you catch a different bus. And how?
Drop me right here on the corner with Palo Verde and Atherton.
One of the things I hate about driving everywhere is trying to find a parking spot. Is parking tight on campus?
Yes, it is, but I just walk by.
You don't even bother?
Yeah.
Someone's waiting for a parking spot, you're just like, how you doing?
Yeah, what's that? See you later. Better you than me. Yeah.
Exactly. I know one of your hobbies is cooking. What would be like a favorite meal that you would cook for dinner? Something fun.
Here we go. Fried chicken.
Fried chicken? Just straight or like spice?
I season it. I'm from Texas. I was raised in LA. I season it. And you turn the light off, it's glowing.
Like what's the secret ingredient?
It's the temperature of the oil. If you cook it too fast, it's rubbery in the inside. And you gotta cook it slow. Then that way it cooks from the inside out.
Can you see the passion this gentleman has for his cooking? The reason I ask that is because you ride the bus to and from work every day. There might be someone out there wondering, okay, well, you're cooking a big dinner tonight. What if you need ingredients or spices? How do you shop for your ingredients if you're on the bus?
Okay, between here and home, I have Alpha, Beta, Swap Meat, the little markets have vegetables and Vons. And between the buses, like 30 minutes. So if I stop at Vons to do the shopping, by the time I come out, the next bus is coming.
So you have it timed out. That's a good point, and I'm assuming that's around 5 o'clock-ish, rush hour time. Okay, so if you don't know much about the bus schedules, in the lower demand times, middle of the day, late at night, they run less frequently, but during rush hour, they're pretty much consistent. About
15, 20 minutes.
Right. So you can run into Vons, get what you need, and get out and catch the very next bus.
It is eating time.
Okay, I'm car free, you're car free, but let's be honest, Wayne, every once in a while, you just need a car. Maybe you need to go on a road trip or a date. Or a date.
Yeah.
True story, when I moved to LA, I went to pick Jennifer up on my very first date. What was I driving, Jen?
A rented Mercedes.
True story, a rented Mercedes. It's a true story. But that was by accident. That was... Pick me up. Okay, so, or maybe you just need, you have a date, or maybe you need to go to Home Depot and buy 50-pound bags of whatever. What do you do then?
There's a lot of rent-a-car places I go to. If I go to one right here, I can catch the bus right to the rent-a-car place, and I rent a car.
It's not a hassle?
No. But I don't rent that much, because I'm 60 years old now. You know, I know it's hard to tell. But you go on a date, you know, go to a restaurant, it's nice. But most of the time, the young ladies pick me up. But I will rent. You understand what I'm saying? You know, yeah. And you shake hands with Chocolate City.
This is a G-rated presentation.
Come on the dark side.
Okay, PG-13. Come on.
Yeah. But no, I don't rent that much though. No.
Yeah, same here, and I rent from time to time. I have a whole chapter in my book called Rental Car Weekends, and you can get a rental car for $9.99 a day. You turn it back in, $33, and the best part of it is, I remember when I used to own a big SUV, I'd be driving around and then the brakes would start squeaking, or the engine would make a noise, or the fan belt, and I'd be like, just a sense of dread. I've got to go deal with getting it fixed now, and that's a whole nightmare. Whereas we rented a car recently, and it started making a really bad noise the last day. Took it back, handed him the keys, and said, see you later.
Yes, exactly, your problem.
Yeah, not my problem anymore, exactly. All right, last question. One of the things that everybody hates about driving in LA is traffic, okay? You're bumper to bumper, you're sitting behind the wheel, your leg's in a weird position, you're getting cramps, you're going from the brake to the gas, trying not to rear end the guy in front of you, you're texting. No, I'm kidding, you're not texting.
No.
Okay, it's stressful. What about riding the bus?
No, you don't have to worry about red lights. And you know, you could talk with your friends.
It's the driver's problem, right? And he's a professionally trained driver. He's going through traffic. You're safe. You're huge. The bus is very visible. Very seldom do they get into crashes. And what do you call the bus?
This is my limousine. Yeah. Stop here, please.
And Wayne, last question for you. What is the price of gasoline right now in this area?
I don't know.
No idea?
No.
No idea.
No. Don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wayne King. Thank you. Speaking of the university that we were talking about earlier when I said how lucky you guys are, from the research I've done, it's very clear to me that the folks here at CSU Long Beach and the city of Long Beach have done an absolutely wonderful job of making clean, reliable mass transit, bike paths, rideshare programs, trails, and other forms of alternative transportation a priority. And that is really awesome. Here's a slide that lists some of the campus resources. If you guys don't know about these already, please check them out. I'll put this slide up again at the very end of the presentation. Feel free to come up here, take a picture of it with your cell phone. You should really know about this stuff, especially at the bottom of the page there, csulb.edu/rideshare. This is a great website, folks. I poked around the website, and I have to say, it's absolutely wonderful. It's far, far better than what most universities and colleges and a lot of government agencies have. Great job to Alyssa and her team for putting that stuff together, and everybody who worked on that site. There are lots of online resources on the website for cycling, carpooling, ride sharing, mass transit, vanpool, ride match, car sharing, even skateboarding. And when I say car sharing, we talked about these forms of alternative transportation don't just benefit the people that use them, they benefit everybody. For example, there's a statistic, and David, maybe you can help me with this. Every car share car takes a certain number of other cars off the road. David?
Yeah, one zip car will take 15 to 20 personal cars off the road.
That's awesome. That's pretty awesome. Thank you, David. So again, you can learn about some of these resources on the website. And this is great, the U-Pass. Man, I wish I had this benefit when I was in college. That's pretty awesome. Anyway, go and check out these online resources and take advantage of these wonderful things. I'd like to close with just a few thoughts on why all this stuff is important. Why are we all here today? Why am I up here running my mouth? Why do I believe in this so much? Because, as I've seen with my travels to other places around the country, when city planners and government officials have the vision and the commitment to these active lifestyles, it helps everyone in the community. It makes the community more livable, it boosts property values, it makes people want to live there, and everybody benefits. I personally think automobile transportation and alternative transportation should get equal funding. Caltrans, if you want to spend $500 million to add one lane in each direction, fine. But I think you should also have to include safe, separate bike lanes in each direction as well. It's really not that hard. And I think it's fair. Conversely, when we don't pay attention to this stuff and we let cars take over our cities, and all of our design and construction decisions are dictated by making life easier for automobiles. We just went through this with an organization that we're involved in, and they were trying to renovate the building, but the city had certain requirements, and they had to build a huge multi-deck parking structure, which cost like $15 million, which the organization didn't have, but everybody was on board. Yeah, let's do it. I'm like, guys, what can we do in this nonprofit with $15 million? Better spent than building a multi-deck parking garage. How about I'll educate everybody on how not to have to drive there every day. Anyway, in my opinion, communities and citizens really suffer when we put cars first. Where was I when City Hall approved this bike lane? Ouch. And one last note on replacing your car with a bicycle and a bus pass for your daily transportation. Whenever I give these talks, a few people in the audience always raise their hand and they say, dude, I hear what you're saying, but I just can't do it. I can't do it for this reason or that reason. I have to drive my car everywhere. I have no choice. And you know what? I always say, yeah, you're right. I totally agree with you. There are millions of legitimate reasons why people need to drive everywhere. I myself could come up with a half dozen reasons why I really need to drive a car. Like, for example, getting from Santa Monica to Long Beach yesterday with 40 pounds of gear, cameras, tripods, 2 laptops, and so on. Yet, somehow I haven't managed to own a car in 10 years, and I haven't even stepped foot in a car in weeks or maybe even months. So the key, I think, is to change our thinking from, here's why I can't do it, to, you know what, I'm going to try to find a way to do it. And for all you students out there, remember what Jennifer said and some of our other speakers today, the freedom that you will have when you avoid going into debt and getting into that, locked into that string of car payments, because that really makes you have to keep working all the time. Anyway, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish with a little bit of creativity and a positive can-do attitude. All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up here, and I don't know if we'll have time for a question or two. Alyssa, how are we doing? Am I way over? We have time for a few questions. So we have a mic set up here. You can either go to the mic or just yell it out and I'll repeat your question.
In trying to advocate for similar things, one common complaint that seems to resonate quite frequently is people are scared that public transportation isn't safe for them. How do we, A, prove the security of public transportation as opposed to locking yourself in a little metal box and driving everywhere?
Right.
And how do we help make public transportation feel safer for travelers?
Sure. So the question is, public transportation may be viewed or perceived as not safe enough. And I can tell you right now, the most dangerous thing that you do every day is sitting in a hunk of metal and glass 3 feet from 20 gallons of flammable liquid, flying down a roadway 45 miles an hour where another vehicle is coming 45 miles an hour in the opposite direction. There's nothing that you do in your life that's more dangerous than that on a daily basis. So I think what it really needs to be is education. The bus is way safer from just a physics standpoint. It's huge. It weighs 20,000 pounds. If it does get into an altercation or a collision with another vehicle, the bus is generally not going to be damaged very badly. Plus, it's huge, and they're always brightly colored. So they're very, very unusual that a bus would be in somebody's blind spot and cause an accident. You can see it from miles away. The driver is professionally trained, not just in safe driving, but also in how to deal with emergencies. There are a lot of secret, and Wayne knows this, there are a lot of, not secret, but not well discussed safety mechanisms in the bus. Many buses have panels on the top that will flash if there's an emergency. There's a simple button the driver can hit if there's some sort of an attack or something serious like that, and it automatically sends out to dispatch a call or a 911 call and so on, and it instantly reports the bus. Every bus on the top of the bus has a huge number painted on it, the number of the bus, so aerial helicopters, sheriff helicopters can see the bus. Plus, usually there's a lot of people on the bus, okay? So it's very unlikely that you're gonna have some sort of a physical encounter, an attack, or something like that. It does happen from time to time, but that's just a general function of the broader population and how many people use mass transit. So, on the other hand, now when we play devil's advocate, I'm 6'3", 220-pound male. I have never felt threatened on the bus. However, I can absolutely see where a single woman would. So again, I think it's just like anything else. If you're driving your car late at night, you don't go to a gas station that is in not a very safe neighborhood and get out and pump your own gas. You know, be smart, plan it out. If you're a woman and you're afraid of riding the bus at night, try to find another way. You know, so I really do think if there was more education about the public transit systems, people would realize it is way, way safer than driving a car. And you know, you always have to put gas in your car. You park it. I mean, you go to the movies or you go to the shopping mall. You work late there. You have to drive. You have to walk to some sketchy, lower area of the parking garage late at night. I mean, that's dangerous too. So, I think there's pros and cons, but I really think it is a lot safer than people perceive it to be. Also, keep in mind, there's a multi-billion-dollar industry. 3 industries: oil, automobile manufacturing, and Madison Avenue, the advertising industry. They want everybody to buy cars. So they love to promote stories in the news about mass transit's not safe, mass transit's not cool, mass transit isn't the way to go for young, upwardly mobile people, and I think that is so wrong. But Nobody's really making a fortune on mass transit, but if you go out and buy a brand new car, they've got you. Next question.
Being a broadcast journalist means being timely and being on deadline, so have you ever been late being to work?
Great question, yeah. Everybody wants to be on time, right? And yes, I have. But here's the thing, and I've driven to work events before, and I've ridden the bus to work events. When I ride the bus, I have it pretty well planned out. I know I can look online and see what the schedule is. So I'm pretty sure that those buses are going to run close to schedule. So I always leave a little extra time. Driving in LA in traffic, especially in Los Angeles, you have no idea when you're going to get there. And if I had to count the number of times I've been late because of driving my car, getting stuck in traffic, and then having to go and find a parking spot near some red carpet event, and there's no parking in Westwood for like miles and I have to walk, that actually takes longer. I hate to say it, but it's really true. It's easier to be on time, I think, when you take the bus. Now, within reason, like I said, we took 3 different modes of transportation here yesterday, and how long did it take us from Santa Monica to Long Beach, Jen? About 3 hours. So you're obviously not going to do that every day, right? You could absolutely commute that in a car every day, but your life would suck. Next question. Any other questions?
Soon after I signed up for this, my car battery went dead and I decided to hop on the bus. And I actually found that I loved it, so I've been doing that here recently. But I'm also only about 3.5 miles away from campus, have a straight shot down a bike path, and wanted to look into getting a bike, but I don't necessarily know what I'm looking for to commute. So could you give any suggestions on what you should be looking for?
Sure. I don't know this area well enough, but I know in Santa Monica and right next door in Venice, where we ride our bikes a lot, there's a lot of bike theft. And bike thieves are very good at eyeballing a bike and knowing if it has resale value. This bike has no resale value. I bought it brand new for less than $200 on clearance. It's made out of steel, it's big, it's heavy, it's got a goofy looking basket on the back. Nobody wants to steal it because they get $20 for it. But you have a Cannondale or a beautiful road bike. If you can ride it to and from work and you can keep it in your office, like a lot of people do, and you have an office where you can put it inside, then you're fine. But I wouldn't ride a bike back and forth to the gym in Venice and ride a nice Cannondale or an expensive bike, so that's my first advice. Be aware of what the crime statistics might be for bicycle theft, and if there's a lot of crime, don't buy a very expensive bike. And the other thing was a nice rack and a basket. That basket looks goofy as all get out, and I know that. But Jennifer, how often does that thing save us? Oh, we can put, and I have panniers that hang off the back. I can carry about 4 to 5 bags of groceries on that bike. So utility, look for a safe bike, number one that fits you, number one that you'll be comfortable riding, that you can ride in traffic. It's not too tall so that when your feet touch, you're like barely tippy toes. You want to have a good firm purchase when you're stopped at a red light. And then make sure it's got ability to carry stuff. And lights at night, you gotta have lights at night, front and back. And there's also resources online about that, how to choose a good bike for bicycle commuting. And it does depend on how far you have to go and if you're going up hills. Where I live is flat, and this bike is fine on flat because it's heavy steel. But if I had to go up hills, that's a tougher bike. Any other questions? Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you.